Hey, we're live. Good morning, everybody. I see some people here already. First of all, I'll start off by saying Mrs. Smith isn't here with me today, simply because, I wouldn't be surprised to hear in the chat maybe, still not feeling well after her accident the other day. So I told her, take the morning off. I'm not going to make her jump in here uh, and do this. So who do we got? Who's here? Let's do the whole roll call thing here in the beginning. Where's my mouse? Oh, this double screen thing. All right, so Dominic, I saw. Lauren, I saw and said hello to. Forgotten Gamer, Madison, Aiden, Taya, Bailey, Elizabeth, Nolan, uh, Libby. Sorry, Elizabeth. When you read names, you know. Aiden. So, got some people in here. Jeanette, this is great because really what we're going to do today, we're going to play the Blooket thing. And everybody loves the Blooket thing. I love the Blooket thing. And I have some people I need to get back at. So hopefully some of them. Grace, where are you? At Grace. I need to steal her money. Before we do, my students and Mrs. Smith's students both should be done with bioenergetics, right? We should be moving into homeostasis. I thought I just would take a real quick, hey, Elijah, that makes sense. I thought I'd take a real quick minute before we play Blooket and just give you some things that will help make this transition to the new unit a little easier for you. So what I need from you in the chat right now is to tell me the four major organic molecules. I need to know those before we can move on. So what are those four major organic molecules in the chat? If you guys could throw those up real quick. We've been talking about them all year. Four major organic molecules in the chat. Lamaya, hi, nice to see you. Daniel, nice to see you. Mackenzie, nice to see you. Ethan, nice. Good. And one of the reasons we're still doing it, even though Mrs. Smith can't do it today, one of the reasons I'm still doing it is because I want to keep this going. We want to make sure you guys know on Friday at 10:30 we're going to be doing this for you. Libby said carbohydrates, proteins, DNA, and lipids, and she is exactly right. Okay. Now, another question. If those are my four major organic molecules, and at this point you really should be rattling those off: carbohydrates, proteins, lipids, and DNA. Actually, DNA I can't take, Libby. So Libby has 3 of 4. She has an example of the fourth. So somebody give me the fourth. Carbohydrates, proteins, lipids. What's the fourth one? This is what happens when Mrs. Smith makes me go up by myself. Hello, Anthony. We have that lag thing going on too. Nucleic acid. All right, redeemed yourself. Nucleic acids. Lauren, thank you very much. Good. Brian said nucleic acid as well. Good. When we talked about bioenergetics, the focus was on which one of the four organic molecules that we just had listed. So we had the 4 of them listed, but when we were doing bioenergetics, the focus was really on one of them. What was the main one that we saw popping up all the time within bioenergetics? See some more people here. Hello, Alex. Hello, Rosa. Madeline, hi. Andrew Non, hi. Wow, this is great. Man, Mrs. Smith couldn't be here. Bailey says protein. Maybe protein's a little bit in there somewhere, but yeah, the big one's probably carbohydrates, right? Because we were making glucose, and glucose is a sugar. All right, so this is my little spiel before we play our game. Just bear with me real quick. It's not long. I'll throw this up on the board. Here are the 4 types of organic molecules. Like I said, or like you guys said, proteins, carbohydrates, lipids, and nucleic acids. If you look under uses for carbohydrate, energy is the use that's listed, and that's what we just got done talking about. The next unit is called homeostasis and transport. Now follow with me here. Homeostasis and transport. We've already talked about homeostasis this year. It's about keeping things in equilibrium, right? And what we're talking about is how do we do that in a cell? So how do we keep our cells in this kind of equilibrium in homeostasis? And it's all about how do we move things in and out of the cells. So here's my next question in the chat. Which organic molecule will probably be center stage in homeostasis and transport if it's all about looking at how to get things in and out of the cell. What's the next big organic molecule that we're going to kind of circle back around to? Hi, McKenna. Maya Brown got out of bed before 12 o'clock. Awesome. Oh, it's going to be a good game of Blooket today. I can feel it coming. We're about 2 minutes away from the game of Blooket, I think. In the chat, what's going to be the next organic molecule that's going to take center stage here? If we're talking about how to keep what's inside of the cell constant. Brian says nucleic acid. Elijah said nucleic acid. But I'm going to have to go. Lauren said proteins. I'm going to have to go with Madeline. I'm going to have to go with Andrew on this one. Lipids. If you look at the chart I have up on the screen, under lipid, it says cell membrane. And one of the big things cell membranes do is they control what gets in and out of the cell. All right. So cell membranes control that what gets in and out of the cell. And that's really important. So let's really quick. I think like one more slide here, maybe two. This is a water molecule. And so real quick review, water molecule, what's really important about them? They're polar. All right. So water is polar. Now you have to think, you're like a big sack of water walking around, right? Life needs water. Our cells are floating, I guess, essentially in water. So, what does this mean for that lipid? And so I'm going to pull up a picture of a lipid here, and I just want you to notice something. If the outside of the cell has water and the inside of the cell has water, and water is polar, it makes sense that the outside of the cell membrane is polar and that the inside is nonpolar. And this is called a phospholipid bilayer because there's a phosphate on the outside and two fatty acid tails on the inside of each phosphate. And then if you think about it, the phosphate is polar, so it always points towards water, and those tails point away, and that's what forms your membrane or your barrier from the outside to the inside of the cell. All right, so the lipid becomes really important, but there's one other molecule, one other organic molecule that becomes really important here, and Lauren kind of called it earlier in the chat when she said proteins, because we have to have a way to get things in and out. So real quick before we do that, yes or no, are you ready for this? Yes or no, can water move across the cell membrane? Here's my cell membrane. Can water go from the outside to the inside of the cell? Yes or no in the chat, real quick. 23 of you in here. Blooket's coming. About 2 minutes. The faster you answer, the better. Can water move across the cell membrane that I have pictured right here? It might be a trick question. Might not be. Rosa, get to bed earlier. Or sleep longer. One or the other. I'm watching the chat. I know we got about a 15-second lag. It drives me crazy. Someday the internet will figure out how to make the lag go away. All right. Answers popping in now. Yes, no. I see some no's. I see some yeses. Yeses, no's, yeses, noses. Somebody said osmosis, working ahead, that they know osmosis is the movement of water right across. But here's the thing. Those of you that say no are actually on this one kind of more correct than those of you that say yes. So what I asked you is, can water move across this membrane right here? And if you look at this membrane right here, there are phosphates on the outside which are polar and attract water, but there are the non-polar hydrophobic ends on the inside. Water cannot cross those. And you say, but Mr. Suter, water, we've been talking, especially if you're doing homeostasis, we're moving water in and out of cells all the time. Right. So now we have to have a way to do that. If you have a polar molecule, it can't move across that barrier unless we give it something like this molecule right here, this big glob right here with a hole in it that allows it to move through. And so we see two we're not going to get into passive and active transport right now, other than, we could say passive, no energy, active takes energy. And, if I say energy, you say, all right. And then so if we look at this, what are these globs in the membrane that are allowing water to go through or other molecules to go through, or even using energy to change shape to allow even bigger molecules to go through? What are those molecules? What organic molecule is that? That they have a specific shape Here's your hint. They have a specific shape, and that shape is really, really important. Thank you to everybody that shouted out ATP in the chat. I appreciate that. That's great. I say energy, you say ATP. It's a thing. It's a thing. I say energy, you say ATP. It's a thing. What are these molecules? So we talked a lot about sugars when we talked about bioenergetics. We've been talking a lot about lipids as we go into homeostasis and transport, but not just lipids. We have to throw something in that lipid membrane to make this possible. And Lauren said carrier proteins. So we could just drop the carrier for now. Lauren, you're obviously working in homeostasis already, and that's great. So we'll just say proteins. These are proteins because they have a specific shape and they have a specific job. Awesome. Good. So carbohydrates we've seen. We're coming back around to lipids. We're coming back around to proteins. And the next unit will probably come back around to nucleic acids. Hopefully that helps get you started a little bit. The aquaporons for, yes, Mrs. Smith. Oh, gosh, I cannot tell you guys how much I miss her in the chat. But you guys, they've been wonderful, Mrs. Smith. I don't know how long you've been here. They're giving me answers. So, Blooket, she just showed up for the game. So, everybody, please make sure you steal your money from Mrs. Smith. And we just send out a message to her that we hope she feels better. Here we go. Mrs. Smith, tell me if I do this wrong. I'm going to go host now. We're going to play for time. We're going to play for 5 minutes. Allow late joining. Hosting now. Cutting off the volume. There it is. Blooket.com. Play. For those of you that are new, we're not going to give you too much directions because we want to steal your money. You're going to have to figure it out. We got 22 people, Mrs. Smith. That's good. Did you see all the wonderful names in here? 22 people. All right. Blooket. I'm looking to see how many players we have, and then we'll be off. Join live. $14 players, 21 people watching the live stream, 14 players. Let's wait another minute and we'll hit go. Try to write it down with our left hand. That's weird. 18 players. Here's the code if you come in late. It's 791248. Put that in here. What's the ID? It is 791248. 791248. Is Mrs. Smith playing? Do we see her in there? I'm thinking Mrs. Smith is playing under a fake name so people won't steal her money. All right, I think it's time. You all ready? Here we go. Be nice, everybody. I don't think I have that ability. Just close that window and try and go in again, Jeanette. I see you, Nolan. I see you, Madeline. What the? Already? That's me banging on my desk at you people. Got about a minute, 24 seconds left. Oh, man. All right, so it looks like Madeline first, Lauren, and then Dom. Very nice. Boy, I tell you what, I keep getting trounced in that game. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, people keep stealing from me, and then I picked lose 25% 4 times in a row. So apparently, I'm not very good at guessing which box to pick. Anyway, if you have any questions, you can ask them in the chat. If you want to join a Zoom room and talk about anything, if you need help with anything or you have questions today, just shoot me an email or do a Google chat. I'll be here in my classroom all day by myself except for when I go to lunch. I'd be happy to get into Zoom and hang out with you and help you out if you need it. Nolan, I saw you on top. I took 25% of your gold at that point when you were up there. Anything else? I don't know. I don't think there's anything else. I do like that. I got hard targeted. Was the first people to swap with you. Yeah. All right. Thanks everybody for popping in for our Friday 10:30. Like to keep them short. Mrs. Smith isn't here to banter with, which makes it kind of awkward. And lost 50%. I did good. All right. Love that game. Friday game time and some preview. Like I said, if you need us, let us know. Mrs. Smith students, if you need any help too, you can always shoot me an email if you want me to get in the Zoom with you. I know, like we'll let her heal today. I have to be here at work, school. If you want to talk, let's talk. I swapped with 5 seconds left. I like the game rehash here. All right, that's it. Goodbye, everybody. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you on Monday, hopefully. Love to all. Peace out.